Hello everybody, this is Mason Buring with Marietta Community Foundation, and today I'm going to be taking you through our grant application, giving you some tips and tricks and just things that you might want to focus on whenever you're filling out our application for our spring and fall grant cycles. So first up, I'm going to take you to our website here, mcfohio.org. Everything you need for the grant cycles can be found on our website. So you're going to go up here into the navigation bar here, and you'll see where it says grants and scholarships. That's the portion of our website that you're going to want to focus on. Now, first off, I'd like to point out the grant guidelines here. We'll go ahead and click on this. This is chock full of great information that we want to see come through your application. So these are some things that you might want to specifically highlight if any of these categories kind of fit the project or program that you are seeking funds for. It also has our grant deadlines as well listed. These are February 15th and September 15th. February obviously is for our spring cycle, and then September is obviously for the fall. And then applicants should allow roughly 60 to 90 days for processing and response. So we're going to go back to our home screen here. And again, you'll go up to the navigation panel and under grants and scholarships once more, and you'll see submit grant application. Now this is the page where you'll actually find the application itself, but the application is only one part of your application packet. To have a completed packet, we'll obviously need the application that we're going to be going over, but we're also going to need an IRS letter of determination of 501c3 status, as well as a list of currently serving board members. So these three documents will comprise your full grant application packet. And then below here, you'll see it's kind of highlighted in a dark blue here, but you can click on that, and that will actually take you to a PDF version that you can download straight to your computer. And it is fillable for your convenience, so once you download it, you can actually go in and type. So I went ahead and downloaded the application directly from our website to my personal laptop computer. This is something you are able to do, and when you open it up, you should be able to actually go in and begin typing out all the information that we require here. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to ask for just basic information, specifically contact information here, but we also ask for your EIN number, your tax ID number. Now this is very important within our process. We need to make sure that your EIN number matches your IRS determination letter, your 501c3 determination letter, and it all needs to match with the name of the organization that's appearing on your application. We cannot accept the application if these do not coincide, so make sure all of this is the same. Also, if you're not a 501c3 nonprofit, but you have some other determination from the IRS, then you're going to want to get in contact with us specifically, because it's a little bit more of an in-depth process, and we can kind of direct you through that if necessary. So another thing that I'd like to highlight here in the agency information section, you'll notice that it says CEO, Executive Director, but then down here, ask for a name of a contact person if it's different than above. So this is basically just if there's a different person within the organization that we need to have primary contact with, that's where you're going to put that information here so that we can differentiate. Next, in section 2, we're going to look at project information. This is basically just you're going to focus on a brief summary, just kind of giving us the highlights of the program or the project that you're requesting funds for. So you'll list the name of the project, the total program or project budget, and then the amount that you're going to be requesting. And then below, you're just going to want to focus on just giving us a brief summary of the overall project. You know, it's brief, but make sure it's impactful. And actually, one tip that I might add in there, you might even want to save this section for last. Yeah, even though it appears first on our application, the other sections might help you kind of build your case or build kind of an overall structure of what your program kind of looks like. And so then you can go in to those different sections, pull out those key points and highlights and then input it into this summary section here. That way it kind of just seems like a cohesive piece all the way throughout the application. But of course that is up to your own discretion. Next, you'll flip to page 2 of our application, and you'll see that section where it says Proposed Program. That's at the top there. In this section, you're going to want to focus on how does this project align with your organization's goals, your mission, your vision. You're going to want to focus on justifying the need. Why is this program or project important? And why is your organization the best one to tackle this issue or issues being addressed by the proposed program or project? Next, you'll see here in program methods, you're going to want to focus on describing the activities that you will accomplish for your program's desired outcomes. Show a schedule with which you expect to achieve your goal. So you're more than welcome to do this in different formats. One thing that I find helpful, but this is just me, is listing it off in terms of bullet points. So in phase 1, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, action 1, action 2, that's going to lead us into phase 2, and here we're going to accomplish these goals, and ultimately that's going to lead us all the way to our final end goal of the program or the project. So basically you're just building a timeline here of what your project looks like. That way we can kind of have a better picture of the steps that you are taking as an organization to bring this to fruition. And then the final section on page 2 here is target population. So who's going to benefit from this project? You're going to want to estimate the number of people to be served, the amount of services they will receive, and the geographic area it will affect. So basically, how many people are you going to be serving? That's what you're going to want to focus here. But not only that, the number of people you're going to be serving, but what is the target demographic? Are you going to be serving kids, elderly? Who's going to be benefiting from this project or program? And then finally, I'd also like to say, just give a brief mention, there is a difference between direct and indirect benefit. We obviously want to understand the indirect benefit. That is definitely a piece of the picture that we want to see painted. But what we are focused on is primarily the direct benefit. So who is going to be directly benefiting from this project? How many people from this demographic are going to be directly benefiting from this project? So that's what you're going to want to focus on in this section here. So we're going to go ahead and flip to page 3, and in the top left-hand corner you'll see a section marked collaboration. Here you're going to focus on, who else is involved in this project aside from your organization. Are you collaborating with other agencies, other businesses, other nonprofits, other funders? Who is involved in making this program or project happen? And if they are involved, in what capacity are they involved? The next section, right in the middle of page 3, is evaluation. Here you're going to indicate how you will evaluate the results of your program and the outcomes you hope to achieve. So earlier we had mentioned, what are the overall goals that you're wanting to bring about with this program. Here you're going to kind of give us a plan of how you set to measure those goals. So how are your results going to be measured? So you're going to want to plan ahead to figure out how we can evaluate the outcomes. And, in some ways, basic surveys would suffice, or maybe administering, tests before and after the project or the program takes place. But basically, you're going to want to, kind of build in this plan and let us know how you plan to evaluate the effectiveness of your program, either during or after it has taken place. And then the final section on page 3, future plans. This section's pretty self-explanatory, so I won't take very much time. But basically, is this program or is this project going to be an ongoing program or project? If yes, please describe how you're going to support it in the future. So basically, what you want to focus on is letting us know how you will continue to support this program even after our grant cycle concludes. And finally, we come to the last page, project budget. Now, this section is probably the most important section out of our entire application. However, it is also the section that trips the most people up. So we're going to spend a little bit of focus time here and give a specific example. So let's say I'm applying for a grant through the foundation. I've completed all the other sections, and I come to this last page here, and I am seeking funds for an after-school tutoring program. So I know that for equipment, my cost is going to be a total of $500. I know that I'm going to need some general school supplies, so we'll put pencils, paper, calculator, etc. We'll put here we'll need $200 for that line item there. Also, you know, it's after school, it's in between lunch and before the kids get home for dinner, so we need to provide them some snacks, and these kids are specifically hungry. So roughly $300. And let's say that you know, the school is going to the use of the facility is going to cost an additional $100 for the after-school program. And let's say also that maybe that there is a volunteer teacher aide. She wants to see this program take place, but she also wants a little bit more experience in the classroom or something along those lines. So she is volunteering her time as an in-kind donation here. So we quantify her time, the time invested, and everything along those lines. Let's say it'll be $400 here. So if we look at this complete or this total project column here, so we have 500, 200, 300, 100, and 400. That's going to total up to a total project cost of $1,500. Okay, so $1,500 is what it takes to run this program. Now let's say, as far as equipment goes, we know that we have a total cost of $500, but in this grant we are asking for $200 and let's say $250. So half of that cost there is $250 is what we're going to be requesting from our total project budget. Let's say we have enough money to cover the pencils, the papers, the basic school supplies here, so we don't need anything, so we're not going to put anything in that line item, but we do need some additional help on the snacks. So let's say we'll put $250 more there. So we have $50 that are already allocated for snacks, but we have a remaining total of $250 that we still need help with. And then essentially, so the $400 for the volunteer teacher aid, that's already being given to us in kind, so we don't need to put a line item for that there. So let's say our total requested portion is $500 here. So this is what we are going to be asking the foundation for, this total of $500 out of this $1,500 program budget. Now, I would like to also note on the very first page, if you would notice where it kind of gives a brief summary of the program or of the project, these numbers here need to match up with the numbers that appear on the first page. That is very important. Okay, so we know that it's going to take $1,500 to run this program or this project here. But we are requesting the foundation for $500. So where is this remaining $1,000 coming from? So that's where these boxes are going to come into play. So we know that we have our in-kind volunteer, and that she is donating her time at $400. So that's $400 of that $1,000 that's remaining. So that leaves a total of $600 that we are trying to figure out and find where these other funding sources are coming into play. So here under the status, we're going to list committed because she's already committed to this program. Now let's say that we anticipated the need for this program to take place this year during the school year. So over the summer we held an auction. and we did really well. That auction brought in $300. We'll list that at committed. So that was a fundraiser that we held for this program to take place. Now that leaves a total of $300. So let's say, we've held the auction, we have our in-kind, we're asking the foundation, the Marietta Community Foundation, for this $500. But let's say we approached another funder. So we'll just kind of do a generic name here. So we'll do the ABC Foundation. And we're asking them for that remaining $300. However, they have not convened. Their grant cycle is still open. They have not made decisions. So we are going to list this as pending. All right, so if we take the 300 plus 300 plus 400, that's all going to equal $1,000, plus our 500 that we're asking from the Marietta Community Foundation. That's all going to total up and equal our total project cost of $1,500. So this is very important. We want all the numbers to work together to align to eventually come to the exact same total that we're listing under total project cost. And then finally, the last thing, as far as our application goes, we need a signature of the contact person, as well as a signature and title of a governing board member from your organization. This just allows us to verify that multiple people within the organization have seen this application, have reviewed the application, and approve of it being submitted. And then also something we are going to be requiring, we are asking each nonprofit that is planning to approach us with a grant application in either our spring or fall cycle, we are requiring that you watch this video. So to verify that you have watched this video, please comment on our YouTube page just underneath the video with the name of your organization. That way we can verify it, and hopefully we can help you out. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to call me, contact me. My name is Mason Buring. You can give us a call at 740-373-3286, or you can contact me via email, as you can see up on the screen, mason@mcfohio.org. Thank you all very much, and good luck.